oil prices now to look at how to compete on better ways. And the three national actually have one be responsible guy ready to look at innovation as to whether very fast gathering policies that are implemented and communicated is a different altogether. GDP national grid, and of course, we're hoping that can also be sandboxes, safe spaces for experimentation without requirements expressed in the past. Local language testing is very important. Trade models, Yoruba, Igbo, so that our AI speaks our truth as some of the solutions are making in the future. The economic impact of local AI is also launched. It is assumed that the GDP for Africa by 2030 could be $1.3 trillion, and we also see that AI potentially contribute to $1 trillion in Nigeria if properly harnessed. 15% of agricultural yield increase potentially can be realized much more in Nigeria, for example. 100,000 lives can be saved through proper AI diagnosis. So some economic context. We're talking about the context and not of charity. When AI is bringing our own data, accuracy and efficiency, and so on. AI so for African agriculture developed to meet local climate and soil conditions will give us a lot of positive energy. Because I suppose today, even as we ask contributor to our GDP is agriculture. The African phenotypes deliver better health outcomes and contextual education model improves rates by 5%. And the point here is an economic advantage. Why is it contextualized AI? So the point here is context. As you know, even when you look at developing your AI, whether you're leveraging AI, agentic AI, conversational AI, or generative AI, it boils down to context, which is why modern context protocol is very key when you're having AI conversation. Africa is trained on African data, and efficiency will obviously. What Rwanda has done recently in their remote center, where Technopolis, where pilot hybrid public cloud infrastructure is also being attention. We're hoping that the technology can bring back travel and solution. We want to have a platform, an AI platform called on basic things, not processes, collaboration works, where, for example, query systems that have different systems to have them to their to feed them to the virtual memory, query that memory and result watch that. Cross borders, enable cross-border monitoring with African data sets. Integration. This so that you guys can read later, because I prepared I haven't come here to discuss what is host and win. That is the and I don't want to come, but to come so that I can speak to people who can start having this more talk about what does it mean to us, what are we saying? Because for far too long, even in my I'm asking myself, these people went to the same class with these people, the when they went from get into the airport and we land here, we're no longer able to implement some of the things that we learned. This AI conversation for me offers us a great mind. So instead of asking how can Africa work in AI, how can AI work in Africa, we can be looking at how can Africa. And I don't believe that to be a revolution. Indeed, we are early in defining discussions. Where data is ours, not to keep this. Anyway. So that you guys can really talk about there are conversations of personal engagement and that. I would like to thank this education is very some people will come, they won't pay attention conversation are going on. When you find events of this nature, step out and be part of it. Pay attention and make it.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, can we appreciate it more? Sessions, so sorry about that. He said quite a lot. We're presenting this. We want to call on Engineer Gadibayo to please present this to our key speaker. He has said a lot, like he said. For those of us that will be wanting, please come this way. The slides will be made available to us. His book, Tech. To us, of course, is simply solution to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the Oliver, say hi.
TECHECONOMY Technology Personality of the Year Award. Thank you very much. So that's
this is actually the EdTech Award presented to Mr. George Agbo, President, Founder,
Thank you very much. Congratulations on presenting this. Engineer Rickman, please, do us the honors.
This is a special award for Mr. Mahmoud Rodman, the CEO of Internet Exchange Portal. But what we all know is the value of the work that he does. I discuss for again on the work that you do. The early days we have many issues. A lot of seniors in the house and
moving on to engineer. Comes representative on behalf. FinTech of the year. Today, I mean, lots of the FinTech space, and we were looking for more cases. Congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you very much. All right, we know. Okay. All right. Can we have all of the recipients now? To see the first one, take the picture, please. If you just see the number, I'm come with your back, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Engineer, yes, you have to. Please come up with the plaque. Please let's have the plaque. All of them the first set. I will still have more to do this so that we'll move to straight to our panel session. Like I said, we are saving it, and thanks to your cooperation. For doing this with us and cooperating with us. All right, so just hold on to this. Yes, one person, yes, please. Just one, what is okay. Hold on to the other for him, yes. You know when you have plenty. No, let's have yes. Yes, please. Yes. Please come. Yes. Smile. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. Congratulations. Congratulations. We're moving quickly to our very first panel session. We have just one panel. Interesting time, the 5.0 session of Afritech Alliance session, who will in turn invite the panel. I hope Dr. Tolu will be joining us. And you can hear us. And then we have three more in front. Please join me to welcome the brand manager at TECHECONOMY. Technological sovereignty. Can we give her a round of applause as she comes to the panel and also do them in the next 20 minutes. I don't the work we are going to do will not be long. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start the call. Before we move on to start the session, I would like to invite the panelists. Firstly, we have Dr. Vincent Batuji, the National Data Protection Commission, NPC, ably represented online by Dr. Tolu. I don't know if Dr. Tolu is going to join us now. On the panel, please, with a round of applause, let us invite one group internet exchange. Next on the panel, we have Chiduzi, the group CEO of WTE Limited. With a round of applause, let's welcome him upstage. Next on the panel, we also have Afritech, the CEO of Cizel Cyber Security. So I have here joining the industry expert who will be talking about the own values that reflect how we are going to protect our data and also as a nation, Nigeria. So my first question, Dr. Tolu online. So quickly, I'll just move on to ask my first question. We go to Ahmed. True digital sovereignty requires
what we're trying to do is to ensure we domesticate traffic domesticated. But you see, when we say 70%, it means it's the volume of the traffic. And you know that videos are usually the ones that carry the heavy traffic on the internet. mostly TikTok, YouTube, and all the rest that are interconnected to us. Analysis of websites that people. So what a lot of our own substantial number of the are not hosted in Nigeria, they are hosted internationally. So what I'm trying to do is to advocate in that by sensitizing, talking to government to see how we can move our data locally. And as possible. That's why, for example, our experience in Lagos. In Lagos, we have 8 different locations. Victoria Island, we are on all the major data centers that are in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Enugu. To be the data centers, you know, all the businesses that are operating within those locations are to move towards data sovereignty. Marathon where it will take time to convince people domesticate their information.
Thank you very much for that. And I hope with what IXPN is doing, we are able to spread across Nigeria as fast as possible, because the rate of development is growing very fast as to speed as well. My second question for you is, what policy and investment priorities are critical to ensure that the data generated in Africa stays within Africa?
Okay, one is, in terms of policy, is to ensure that the licensing regime for smaller service providers is there and it's easy to access those licenses. For example, if you look at Nigeria, there are states in Nigeria that do not have a single internet service provider. For example, we are in Gombe. About 3 million people in Gombe State. Data people are sharing from their phone to grasp how they can reach the underserved and unserved areas. Minister of Communication was speaking recently to come up with the policies in terms of investment. Really expensive. If you want to buy a link between Kano and Lagos of 1 gigabit per second, it's more expensive than the link to London. So of course, from Kano to Lagos, that's basically they want to do 9,000 kilometers of pipeline. So these are the investments that we need to ensure that we do that. But critical holds everything together is the human resource. We need to really they fund it properly, and that's where all the technology guys that you see in America, the top CEOs of all these big telecommunication companies are right now Indians. You know of Google, of course. So we really, really need to, as we speak now, there is no major institution where you go and get trained as a government owned. So it's not part of the curricula you do just computer science. So I think we need to be really deliberate about it. Because that's the glue that ties everything together.
So we can say that the role of government is public-private partnership to enhance the digital and also to empower communities who lack. So that my next question goes to happiness, because cybersecurity is foundational to digital sovereignty. What are the emerging vulnerabilities in AI adoption?
Okay, thank you. So today we have lots happening. Deepfake is one of them, and of course, most time you see videos, you see voices, playing out, and you think, oh, this is so well originated, but then at the back end. So this is one of them, and then of course we also see from the fraud aspect, we see a lot of from that. And this is why education is also very important. Educating users. We see around the DLP we kind of see some information. It could be, then when you have a ESPN, which actually help you to analyze your data, when you correlate to look at, okay, which system is not risk, or where is the data hiding, or which system, where is roaming or residential. It could be from the forensic aspect, it could be from the response, it could be from what aspect. So we see some activities that are being generated by AI in as much as there is positive aspects and there's also negative aspects. But overall today, the hackers are really training this AI ransomware, to be consistent.
Thank you very much for that. That takes me
Critical today is the human aspect and data. We can never take that out. In order to reduce this and cost-effectively, there are little things we can start up. Some of them are like tabletop exercise. Aside the tabletop exercise, when patches, which will not really cost too much. And then of course, or to know if the organization is corrupt, whether from the network parts or from, let's say, from across your channels, it could be from your firewall, it could be from your web, it could be from your servers. We do all this because with all these little things, it makes you to keep, because you're on top of your game. And then other things important is data protection aspects. There are some solutions today. I know solutions, which is also not too expensive, but then of course, probably in terms of the analysis, yes, there's some that, you can still offer some kind of value, but of course, but then the key thing is about it's always good for the executive or management, to analyze, to look at the journey, depending on the business landscape or, the kind of business they're driving. That prioritize what kind of solution you need at that point in time, and then gradually, because most times it can be very cost, it can be very expensive. But overall, educating
I would like to take one last word from the
All right. Any? Okay, one there. Let me have one. Just either question or contribution, name and quickly go straight to it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Juliet. So, someone like somebody is trying to job security. What's the best way to start? Which one would you propose? The best way to start?
Anyone, cybersecurity.
yes, I really encourage the cybersecurity. I know there the GRC aspect which has to do with not being core technical, and of course the aspects of being hands-on. We'll look at security operations center, really clear about incident response, But then I say there are some free training you can start with online. There are some free training start with that, and of course there's also some YouTube. And then for scissors space, first quarter next year will also be recruiting some free training for some young graduates. Maybe just keep in touch as part of that. But at the start point, there's free training you can start with online. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'd like to work on how Africa can embrace
Things you graphics, but I generate graphic images and things. So what I would suggest is that we need to identify the gaps. Each one of us is looking for a solution to a particular problem, right? If you are an accountant, AI can be used as a solution. You can there is AI where whatever issue you have, if you go and question there, you will see the AI product that is the solution that your problem. So to adopt is follow the herd, because everybody is using ChatGPT. That's everybody joining into the band. AI is there based on your needs. That we use opportunity to solve problems, because the whole objective of setting up AI is to solve our problems. That's where the robotics and the lab robots are going to do their shows and all that. So I think pick up as
And as well as say, please.
It's already evident that our digital independence will be built, not borrowed, and we have a future of having our own in
something. I like the fact that the young lady spoke about how she wants to be a cybersecurity person, whatever study university. To your dream of becoming that sort of after presentation on personal branding masterclass. Everyone, personal branding masterclass. But before we go, can we please rise on our feet? Let's stretch our legs a bit. Please rise up. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Let's do something quickly. Just stretch your legs now. If you're sitting on it's not to do. Stretch, stretch. Stretch your legs, stretch. Stretch. One thing. Something, say hi. Tell the person what you learned so far. One or two things. How are you? For those that didn't come on time, just stretch a bit so that we don't feel boring. The cold is entering to our legs. You know, just say hi. Say hi, say hi. Take up somebody, take something from your neighbor with the car, the glasses, the ATM, the wallet, and return it back afterwards. All right. Thank you very much for stretching. Can we please have our seats as in the next 10 minutes or so, we're having a free personal branding coach to talk to us about personal branding. He's not other than a distinguished leader in the Asian technology space with nearly 2 decades of experience in corporate and communication. Mr. Chidi is not just passionate about building corporate brands, but is now dedicated to transforming personal brands for leaders and aspiring leaders. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Chidi Opa, personal brand coach, as he takes us through the human of already thriving in an uncertain world. Personal branding becomes your greatest edge in the digital world. Can we give him another round?
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me today and giving me the opportunity to share some insights with you this afternoon. I know that in the last couple of minutes and hours, we've shared a lot of things around technology, artificial intelligence, building data centers, fiber optic cables, and these things are very interesting. And I can tell you that it's so interesting because I've been in this industry for a long time, and I've communicated technology, I've talked about technology, and it's something I'm also very passionate about. But just very briefly for the next 10-15 minutes so that I can just take your mind a bit, just a little bit out of the structure of the road, the infrastructure that we build, that we know about in the tech space. And let me bring something that I feel is also very, very important for all of us in this room. Today, I'm sharing something around the human algorithm, thriving in an uncertain world. I'm very passionate about human needs. I'm very passionate about people, and I have driving corporate brands to see how we can help people build amazing, impactful brands, not just for themselves, but also for their organizations. And I'll tell you why this is very, very, very important. We've had, I think it was Dr. Engineer that said something about Africa and talking about Africa sovereignty. There's been a lot of conversations today around that. And I would like to share a story. A few years ago, I think in 2008, 2009, I was doing my master's in England. And the professor came into the room and he put up the world map. And that world map, there was light everywhere. Right? There was light everywhere, apart from in Africa. And you can trust us as Africans. What did we do? We started complaining. We said, this is how they always do us. This is how they always like to bring us down. And the gentleman allowed us to continue with what we know how to do in this room. All of you know very well, right? He allowed us to continue murmuring. And then at the end of it, he said, if you look at this man very well, that darkness that you see represents the opportunity of the future. I'll say it again, he said that darkness that you see represents the opportunity of the future. But how many of us even know that? How many of us recognize that we even have this opportunity? Dr. Woodman talked about education being something that is very, very important to us, and even the advancements of technology here in Africa. But even with education, it's important that we even get back to the very, very, very core. To the very core, which is ourselves, our values. To even understand what it means. To even understand what this technology means to us. How many, for those of us in marketing and communications, there's been a shift from telling those stories to actually moving to telling something that's saying things that are very, very, very meaningful to people. In other words, thought leadership. But what is very interesting for us today, when we think of it, is what we see happen. Next slide, please. What we see happen within the environment that we find ourselves in. Just by show of hands, I always like to ask a question when I start. Next slide, please. When I do presentation, I always like to ask, are you a brand or are you a commodity? Show of hands. Are you a brand? If you're a brand, let me see your hand. If you're a brand, let me see your hand. Please be bold. Be bold. Thank you. If you're a commodity, let me also see your hand. If you're a commodity, let me see your hand. Okay. All right. Why I always like to ask questions, because sometimes most of us don't even understand the distinction. You see these organizations here, they are all brands. They decided that they can distinguish themselves within the space that they find themselves in. But it's very, very, very important that we get ourselves right as individuals within this space to ask ourselves, are we even building our brand? And I want to say something very categorical. In this digital world that we live in, if you're a leader, service. Think just for chief executives. The digital world they have has largely democratized. Encourage our people to also build their brands, because what happens is that they become extensions of the stories that you tell about your organization. And when they become extensions of that story, then you can create scale that we want to create within Africa. So it's important that we have that out of our minds and ensure that we're looking for new ways of encouraging our people to deliberately build their brand. Most times, don't talk about origin. Next founders, executives said in this room today. I was on a panel 2 weeks ago where it was called the Abuja Style, and I was blown away at the amount of innovations that we have to in Nigeria. Many of them are visible. First of all, if we are able to build trust, and trust is something that you build over time, but it's something that you need to fully understand what it is that you want to build, and you build that around, and people will come and they will understand that we hold here in Africa. We hold a whole hope that we can help drive the things that we have. But and it's important that we also place beyond skills. To acquire it's extremely important also acquire those skills. It's important that we know that there are values that will help us drive these skills in such a way that it makes a lot of sense to the people around us. When it does, then we'll be able to create that level of intelligence that will help us really succeed and strive in this uncertain world that we live in. So I'll leave you with 3 things that I feel will be very, very important for us as we go on. Most especially going into the new year. As we go to 2026, a lot of people are very afraid that they're saying it's an election year. There's the way uncertainty. There's a whole lot of things. But uncertainty today has become the new normal. So, if you ask me, what I think we should be really thinking about is not really getting afraid about the uncertainties around, but asking ourselves as leaders, as people, as professionals, how can we respond to the uncertainties and own it? I love this hashtag, own your story. And I use it a lot. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you say, I use it a lot because it's very, very, very important. And the digital world today, it's important you own your story. Because if you do not own your story, I bet you the person who is going to own that story, you won't be happy about how it's going to come. So it's important you own that story. If we are able to own our story, well, it gives us that credibility, it gives us that strength to really go through in terms of the things that we want to do. So I talked about 3. So it's important to do a reset. You do like a 360 audit of who we are. Understand what your values are, what you stand for. And then people too as well. If you see conducting a 360 audit for your life, for your career, for the things that you're doing, is that it doesn't just give you an opportunity to understand yourself, it gives you an opportunity to understand what people think about you, about the venture that you're getting into, about the technology that you're innovating through. What does it really need? Then you should also think of how you can also reinvent yourself and also rebrand yourself. So it's these things are very, 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 very important. Once we are able to understand these things, our stories, once we are able to understand what our personal story really means for us, when we layer it with technology, then Africa can begin to see itself thrive and thrive in the way it should be thrive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kami. Your story reminded me of an essay in Does she know my dog better than my dog? You know, I mean, that's, we do all of that, especially for you people. Whatever we're putting on social media today, they make all marks. So, I think those people that said the greatest food for AI is what? Data and information. It takes, and the software we want to see, we want it to work us or to favor us. We should ask stuff. We should be able to get AI that will speak our language, tell us a story. I mean, if you saw that video of Ricky and moving on to the next presentation, our very last one for this beautiful Thursday afternoon would be and Africa's digital future, and it will be given by none other than Chukwemeka comes. Delve straight into the words. I said we have big time. It's 1:43, and I will say thank you for cooperating with me and making this a reality. Thank you very much. In the next 10 minutes, the time starts.
Yeah, as introduced, my name is Chukwemeka. I kind of lead the lecture week. We had a mini edition last year. This year again, we are repeating it in Lagos and Abuja, and then different other locations. So our goal is to basically create notes and then to excel. Basically. So we do more advocacy, education, and a lot of opportunities. You know, we kind of like pipe this introduce opportunities from abroad down to Africa and specifically for Nigerians as well. Quickly, it's about to be a fireside chat, but I'd like quickly coming down to the presentation. I believe someone who is here, who is new to the space, will empower actually. All right, decentralized systems in African digital future. What's decentralized system? If I may ask, who wants to answer? You have an idea of decentralized system? You've been hearing about it. Who want to help me? I'm new here. Decentralized. What's the word decentralized? Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I can hear you. No central. Outside. Okay, basically. All right. So that's my fault. Please. I did a test for the blockchain in this actually. So this is all right. So I was in Morocco like 2 years ago or last year, I think 2 years ago, and I was kind of stranded. The dollar I had was just limited, and I needed cash. I don't have access to Morocco banks. There's a whole lot of strictness, and what just helped me was the Web3 space. I have a wallet, I have my Bybit, my Binance. All I just need was kind of like reach out to a friend, and then he said he has a wallet. I had to send him the equivalent, and he gave me the round, and then I joined myself. So I could stay more than a year there without worrying, creating an account. So that was how I was able to live seamlessly in Morocco. And then when I'm done with what I was doing, I had to find my way back home. Right, so that's the beauty about the space. I just want to thank what your presentations are. It's resonated with what we do actually. Recently I was discussing with Linda, and when we had a blockchain last year, our domain was .io, and then there are advised us, can we just take it up and promote the energy? I said, yeah, sure, that's it. Straight up, we just have to get the end to all our hands, promoting Nigeria doing the space. I'm happy to collaborate with you because we have a lot of developers building, buying a lot of domains, and we want them to pay attention to what we have back home. So what are the decentralized systems? Just as you said. If you can see the screen, you can see decentralized systems in Africa. You might have heard about Bitcoin, and these are one of the use cases in the space. Just a use case. It's a digital payment system. It's a currency. If you have a Bitcoin here, you're ready. You're the biggest of the big. So it started as low as $1, and then all of a sudden the value increases. And today, American is working towards having the headquarters in America. That's what the space has. So as we learn, we need to pay more attention to the space very well. For some of us who are early to join the space, in terms of financial, it has really helped our ways. And still, the opportunity is still quite large. And we're looking about more than $3 billion industry and still growing. So there's a lot of space. So we as the economic team, we all want to do is to get our people in the space. The earlier you join the space, create a niche for yourself, and then you get empowered. You can be somewhere in Dubai or somewhere in Morocco or somewhere in Maldives, and you're making your money and you're living quite okay, and you are interacting with it's a borderless environment actually. So you don't need a visa. It's something that you just come to enjoy. What's about us is we have a lot of talent here. You can imagine the bright mind here, a lot of energy that I can see. So I would really like you guys to take this very serious. So these are some examples of what is in the space. These are just examples. Let's go to the next slide. What is decentralized system? So I kind of quickly pen it down. Decentralized systems are simply digital infrastructure where no single person or company or government controls everything. Instead, power is shared across us. We are aware. We can start up a project, and every one of us own it. So, and it can't be controlled by me. It can't be controlled by him. It can be controlled by us. Consensus. So even if there's a possibility of changes, we must have 51% consensus for that change to occur. But most of the times, it's very difficult. Whatever you deploy, it's just stay there, and that's why the immutability, the truth, if you look at the properties of the blockchain, comes in here. So if you hear it is shared across many independent participants, and these participants can be nodes, can be users, can be validators. User rules, everyone can verify, especially when blockchain or peer-to-peer networks. Generally, for this to work, there's always a specified rules or protocols. So each blockchain has its own protocols, and we have the global protocol that makes it work together. Please let's go to the slide. Okay, that's one. Okay, for Africa future. So why it matters? We were, in one of the presentations I had, sometimes we were America doesn't need blockchain. These guys are already fast, okay, expect. We are able to see a lot of use cases here in Nigeria and in Africa. And this is where we need to right now, a lot of RWA are coming up, real world assets are being built, failures. So this is where we could utilize blockchain. And it's really trending. Today we have our own CMGN by my friend. It's doing quite well, the post. What ER not achieved in 2 years, CMGN achieved in less than 2 months. And that without publicity much. So that's telling how the space is really evolving. So centralized system gave us OP. OP is owned by and can be controlled by more point as well, and processor. These are powerful projects that comes, and all these things that helps the unbanked guys kind of like unback, bring them into the financial world. All these projects are beautiful. During the COVID period, it really helped a lot. But one outage can frustrate. Let's assume there was a time and there was like an institution, you discovered so many issues there. Let me not mention names, but in the space, in the blockchain space, we hardly have all these things. We have some of the chains that just marked 5 years, 10 years. And what they said is 5 years, that's because these servers are not just on a particular space. These servers called nodes are all over the whole world. So let's assume the node in America is down. The node in Gombe will never be down. So if the one in Gombe is down, the one in China will never be down. So that's one thing about space. So let's go to the next. So decentralized system of sovereignty. No, please go back again. It gave us sovereignty. It dreamt that can't be lost, identity that can't be erased, and infrastructure built, run, and profit from. And so these are one thing about decentralized system. We missed it sometimes ago, but I'm happy now that Nigeria is waking up to the task. So because I'm still here, even despite we missed it, we still in Africa we're still the one leading the Web3 adoption. But so far, I'm so happy the government has been able to come up with a taxation structure, come up with a compliance structure, and then we have a community that are really championing this space. So another time for you to get it to join now is today. All right. So what are the decentralized systems? As I said, no gatekeeper. Simply control data and rules. That's what is about the space. Control data and rules. When I say control, no gatekeeper. Today nobody knows who's Bitcoin, who's Bitcoin. It's just running seamless, and everybody's craving for it. That's the beauty about it. So tomorrow now, Naira now, the last government, we can hear that there was so many, because there was no money, as in, because when you need the rice, you can just simply order the CBN to print means and you can't track this. But on the blockchain space, any coin, whatever that is being audited, you can always see it. So if there's any file, it's listed on space. All right, let me quickly round up. So you have the data, it lives everywhere. That's one thing about this centralized system. So anything about space is everywhere. The rules are transparent. Bitcoin in Nigeria, as I speak today, we have more than 2,000 wallets, and CBN can switch it off. And these guys are doing amazing transactions. You've heard about mesh. So if whatever network provider goes down, you have this product out there, giving internet to everyone. You have different protocols, like the base, they're doing great work. These are smart controller like was roots, and people are being building on it. Let's go to the next. Africa owns, go back again. So I said something. Africa owns the rails, not just the train. So it's time for you to so that we do the rails and also own the train as well. Let's go to the next line. So policies, one of us also have taken this, but these are what we need. Three policies move African moves that we all need now was this one: data localization, interoperability. We need that. So we need to have more mandates, local nodes, APIs. We look at the risk-based VAPs. VAPs means virtual asset providers license for DeFi, token classification in 90 days, 50 billion sovereign people. So these are like some things, 3 items we need to move the ecosystem forward. To the next one. Okay, so that's just a summary of what I just have today. So I'll make this available, and I just dropped a poll on our X handle, Nigerian Blockchain Week. Just go to the X handle, answer the questions, and we'll reach out to you based on your response. So we have this project next. I'm going to have you guys on. If you want to reach out to me, and questions and partnership, just reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the convener, Lagos Blockchain. Is it coming up this year?
Yeah, second week in December.
Second week in December. I'll just have one free ticket. He could give out maybe 4 more to make it Africa started to build those that create this amazing technology. Very quickly before we delve straight into the awards, from Sport Communications, Mr. Samuel. A round of applause. Wave. Thank you. The CEO Commercial, Mrs. Adirun Adeye. Oh my God, that's right. Thank you very much for coming. We are. Thank you. We're moving and towards the honors of presenting this second batch of the awards today is the CEO of Valley Digital and principal partner at Emeka Ibe and Co. None other than Pastor Emeka Ibe coming.
Person that engineer TECHECONOMY who is and Digital Influence Award. We're inviting other person who has achieved for this award. Please appreciate the comes of this award.
Appreciate it with a round of applause. All right, we have the ICT Company of the Year goes to ICT Edge. Shall we have a representative? A round of applause. Let's have that. A round of applause for Afritech ICT company of the year. Music, please, CJ. Easy. I know active, so it's that's why you want to. Congratulations.
Very active. I'm very active.
Next goes to Internet Exchange Point of the year. ICN. A round of applause for ICN. A round of applause. Congratulations. Afritech Annual Innovation Award goes to Tech Concepts Limited. Give them a round of applause. We have representatives. Tech Concepts Limited. Any representative here? Oh, thank you for standing. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you for standing. Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause back. And we invite the executive vice chair of the local government to present the next set and we give it up. Let's clap now. I'm tired. Mr. Chairman. The first we present is a test. Space smartphone. ITEL. Representative ITEL. Representative of ITEL. Any representative of ITEL? All right. So any representative of coming. All right. Let's give a round of applause. Comes to representative. Congratulations. Next is Afritech Champion of Africa Award. It goes to Scott's Communications. Scott's Communications. A round of applause. Representative of Scott's Representative of Scott's Communications. Thank you. This way, you comfortable?
On behalf of African
Smile. Congratulations. And next we have ATEC's National FinTech Achievements Award. Who do you think is receiving that award? Who else? Other than Afrigo Pay Financial Services. A round of applause. Shock you. Please don't applause for her. Congratulations. ATEC's National FinTech Achievement Award. You're doing amazing in the fintech space and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. more. The last represented Honorable Chairman is the ATEC Digital Trust and Security Excellence Award to none other than TESL Cybersecurity. A round of applause as it comes. For your commitment to building digital trust and practicalization through all that you do. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again. On behalf of Afritech Alliance, I'm pleasure for what you and I can see that you're very focused on it, and I wish you all progress and success.
Thank you very much. A round of applause again. Thank you. Congratulations. At this point, we allow our Honorable Chairman to take a bow. Let's go back to his seat. Can we appreciate him for doing the honors of presenting the awards. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations to you. And coming up next, we see Mr. Rudman, please join us on the stage. Thank you very much to present the final set of awards. Thank you very much. And the first, the ICT Innovation Storyteller Award. Can I have the name? The ICT Storyteller Award. It goes to Samson Akintaro, News Editor, Parametrics. A round of applause. Wow. Interesting.
So, narrators are really doing well for this. Thank you. This way.
So the next is the ATEX Digital Trust and it is the ATEX Reporting Excellence Award to none other than Joanne A, Managing Editor TECHECONOMY. I have to stop at the A so I do not mother your soul. And she's going to teach me how to pronounce it here. A round of applause for her doing amazing at the TECHECONOMY stage. Help me pronounce that again. Congratulations, congratulations, Joanne. Reporting excellence with TECHECONOMY. Well done. Congratulations. We have ATEX Mandarin Literacy of the Year. Let's have who that is. The ATEX Mandarin Literacy Voice of the Year. I told you your hand right there. Voice of the Year. Who will that be? Who will that be? Oluwatosin Inambo Akiride. A round of applause. A round of applause. That means that voice will be very big. Well, congratulations. Let's give a applause. It's not easy to give a voice. Well done. Mandarin Literacy Voice of the Year. Congratulations. The last but not the least is the ATEX Champion of Digital Infrastructure Award to none other than Digital Realty Nigeria. A round of applause and have the representative come on stage to receive this award. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see. Can I have the award for Digital Realty? After that, we'll allow Engineer Goodman to go back to his seat. Thank you. Let's appreciate him for doing all the honors. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations. And the final award goes to all of us. The award for attending and listening with rapt attention goes to us. A round of applause to us. Okay, so let's do this quickly. It is blockchain advocate of the year, Chukwuemeka Inokabe. Chukwuemeka, well deserved. We have ATEC's Outstanding AI and Cloud Transformation Personality of the Year, presented to Olusoji Solomon Adeyemo. A round of applause for him as he comes. So while you're still here, can we call on all the awardees from the second batch of awards to please come forward with your plaques? Let's have a group picture. Mr. Please be there. Honorable Governor, please join us. Thank you very much. Please join us. Please come up with your plaque. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We'll just keep up the certificate and just hold on to that. Okay, cool. If you can handle both, good. While we are getting ready to do that, Mr. Chike, get ready for the vote of thanks. After the ushers will lead our speakers first to refreshments, something to cool down after a long, interesting. Mr. Johnson, I need to go to the movement. Can we please adjust? Wait. Can we have some people? Can we come? If you know you, as brief as I have to come down. Joanne, let's have you down. So we have the other one. Those of us that are brief and straight to the line. Thank you. Thank you. We can have it all compact and beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing.
So let's move very quick.
Yes, just smash one the air, please. Let me original. Thank you very much. At the count of three, I want to just raise it up and say 86.0. 1, 2, 3, go. 87.0. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you very much for your applause for them as they go back to their seats. Mr. Chair, please. We'll have our closing remark by the chairperson of Afritech Finance Planning Committee. Also, the top president of NITRA for closing remark, Mr. Chike Onwuebuchi. Can we give a round of applause as he comes?
Okay. are maybe MD of Internet Exchange of Nigeria. He has been supportive of everything that we're doing now. Afritech, active in technology, teaser, cybersecurity, and there are one company that unfortunately they are not here. You can see digital in code. They are our platinum also, but unfortunately the CEO is engaged in another training. So, and he couldn't make it. That's why we had to jump his presentation. Afrigo is a part of us. I remember last year, previous speaker was Afrigo, and they are all educated on what the company is doing. So every other course was communications and other companies that supported us. So we use this opportunity to thank you and wish everybody has to go back to your respective offices safely as we do that refreshment. So may God guide us and let us. Thank you and thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's allow the ushers to go with the speakers and presenters first to the mini refreshment table, after which is open to all. We want to thank you very much for honoring this invitation. We hope that you learned a lot today, and that we'll be here at the 6th edition of Afritech Forum, and also the 8th Word of Excellence. It's been an exciting one, and I'm super glad to be your master of ceremony today. Louise Olani is my name. Until next time, do have a pleasant day ahead. And join us. Thank you.